Have you ever read a contract and paused wondering, wait, does this clause affect the agreement or bring something into effect? It's a small difference, just one letter, but it can completely shift the meaning of a contract. And here's the catch. Getting it wrong could lead to unintended consequences. So how do you make sure you're using the right word at the right time? Let's break it down. First things first, let's talk about affect. It's a verb, an action word. In contracts, it's all about influence or change. Think of it like a ripple effect. One thing happens and it changes something else. For instance, a clause might state that delays caused by force majeure may affect the contractor's ability to perform. Here, affect tells us that these delays influence how well or even whether the contractor can fulfill their obligations. It doesn't mean the contractor stops working entirely. It simply means their ability to meet deadlines or deliverables could be altered by those delays. Now, why does this matter? Because when you use the word affect, you're emphasizing the relationship between a cause and its impact. It's about describing an ongoing interaction. Think of it as the how behind the change. It's dynamic, like a moving part in a larger mechanism. Without understanding affect, you might miss the subtle ways one clause or condition can modify another. Now, let's move on to effect with an E. This one's a bit more static, and here's why. Effect is primarily a noun, and it's all about the result or consequence. Think of it as the what happens next. For example, a contract might say, this agreement shall take effect on the start date. What does that mean? It means the agreement becomes legally binding, it kicks into action. Before that date, it's just a promise or a draft. But on the start date, boom, the terms are now enforceable. But wait, there's more. Sometimes effect sneaks in as a verb, and when it does, it carries a different nuance. It's about making something happen. For example, if the contract says, the contractor shall effect the required insurance policies, it means the contractor needs to bring those policies into existence, actually make them happen. It's not a casual instruction, it's a directive to take specific action. So here's an easy way to remember the difference. Effect is the verb that deals with influence and change. It is about setting the gears in motion. Effect is either the noun that focuses on the outcome of those motions or the verb that commands someone to make the gears turn. One's about the cause, the other about the result. Still with me? Let's look at a practical scenario. Imagine a clause that says, the termination of this agreement shall not affect accrued rights. That means whatever rights you've already earned aren't influenced or changed by termination. But if the clause says, termination shall have no effect unless in writing, it's about the result. Without a written notice, termination doesn't happen. It has no legal impact. See the difference? Effect is about influence. Effect is about the outcome. The subtlety is key, especially when drafting or interpreting a contract. Misusing them could accidentally change the meaning of a clause, or worse, lead to legal disputes. So the next time you're reviewing a contract, pay close attention to these words. Are you describing an influence or the result? Does the clause affect something or does it take effect? Small details like this can make a big difference. Got questions about other tricky legal terms? Or maybe you've seen these words misused in a contract before? Let's talk about it. Dive into the details. It's where the magic of clarity lives. And there you have it. Affect versus effect, but now demystified for the world of contracts. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, in the world of words, precision is power. See you next time.